This problem is from the Practice and Skills workbook. It's page 115, problem number 7. A line passes through 1, 1, -2, 4, and 6, n. Find the value of n. Okay, so what we're going to do on this problem is we've got 3 points. We've got this point right here, this point right here, and this point right here. Our plan of attack on this one is we're going to use the first 2 points, these two, to figure out a slope. And then after that, we're going to use that slope to help us figure out what n is. So remember that our formula for slope is going to be the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to label our ordered pairs that we have here. So we'll call this x and y, x and y. Put little 1's right here for the first one. Put little 2's for the second one. So all I'm going to do is just substitute our numbers. So y2 is 4. So I put a 4 in here. Minus y1, which is 1. And on the bottom we got x2, which is -2. Minus x1, which is 1. So we get a 3. And then on the bottom we're going to get, let's see, add the opposite. So we get a -3. And what we'll end up with is a slope of -1. So we ended up getting a slope of -1. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm now going to use, let's say, the first one and the last one. And it really doesn't matter which points. We could use the first one, the last one, or the second one and the third one. As long as we use one of the points has to be the one that involves the n value. So I'm going to use the first and the second, the first and the third one. So let's start off with our same formula. So x2 minus x1, and we're at this little 2 right here. A little clearer. There you go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this time, we know what the m is. M, we found out, was -1. So I'm going to replace this m right here with the -1. And I'm going to relabel the ones that I have right here. Okay, we're going to call this x1, y1, and we're going to call this one x2, y2. So I'm going to replace the y2 with an n. That's this first value. The y1 is a 1. On the bottom, I'm going to get x2, which is 6. And then x1, which is 1. And then I'm going to simplify this down. If you look right here, I got 6 minus 1, which would be 5. So if I simplify this, it would be 5. So just cross this out, put a 5 underneath. Let me rewrite this whole thing just to make it a little cleaner up here. So let's make this -1 equals n minus 1 all over 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to solve that for n. So I want to get rid of this 5, so we're going to multiply both sides by 5. So we're multiplying this whole thing right here by 5, and then I'm going to multiply this side over here by 5. Well, 5 times -1 is -5. And then we have a 5 in the denominator and a 5 right here. Let me just cancel those out. And we're going to get an n minus 1. And then to finish that up, we're going to add 1 to both sides. So we add 1, we get a -4 is equal to n. And on this problem, they're asking us just to find the value of n. So the value of n would be n equal to a -4. So that's your answer on this one.